Hello there, and welcome to my first ever Minecraft video. Um, I am here at my base. This is on the Welsknight Patreon server, which is a private SMP server for the Patreons of Welsknight. And I am facing my base, which you'll see in a minute here. The reason I'm recording this is because, well, I'd like to get into recording Minecraft to begin with, but it's kind of a good time to do it, too, because 1.13 is about to come out, which means it's about time for the server to be reset. So it's been about a year since the last time it was reset. I've been playing on the server for about 3 months, I want to say. So I've built my base. It's more or less finished. Obviously, if I had more time, I would have gone further with it. But it is what it is, and I just wanted to share that with you. So we can get right into that. I'm standing, as you can see behind me, I'm standing like on the edge of my base because um, that's just like nothing behind me, just nothing. So this is my base. It's a lot of stone. I did some texture variation with the smooth stone and the andesite. I meant to do cracked stone as well, but I forgot to do that, and by the time I remembered that I was kind of wanting to do that, it was already done, and I was like, nope, not doing it again. I've had enough of that. So this is the College of Winterhold. Or at least my interpretation of it. And for those of you who are not familiar with that, at least by name, that is the College of Mages, or the Guild of Mages from Skyrim, which is Elder Scrolls number 5. And in the actual Skyrim video game, there's like a village over here, which is what I was going to do. I was going to build the village of Winterhold itself, which would have meant a lot of terraforming because I mean, there was no cliff right here. If anything, it was a flat, and like I think there was like mountains or something. So it would have involved a lot of terraforming, which I'm not that good at. I don't really particularly enjoy it. What I'm standing on now was actually terraformed. This whole slope is my creation. The natural slope came up more over here. In fact, this whole thing was more up at this level, so I dug out a whole bunch of stone and whatnot. So I kind of added this path just so that it looked a little more natural to come up here. Every time it snows, it gets covered up with snow, which I'm not too thrilled about, but I didn't want to put any lighting down here, just because I didn't actually get to the village part, so the village would have had, its lighting, I guess. So this is the entrance ramp to the College of Winterhold. Now, if this was the actual game, there would be a mage standing here. When you first visit the College of Winterhold, you come up, and there's a mage, and you have to just, like, test to get into the college, which is pretty basic in the video game. But once you pass it, she'll take you on a tour, and you come up here. This pool thing, there's a number of pools similar to this in Skyrim. It was actually a source of light. Like there was this glowing thing here, but this was the closest I could get, which was sea lanterns covered by water. And just in case there are questions, I am playing with a texture pack on. It is the Welsknight texture pack that he uses for his Kingdoms world. So some of the textures are going to be very different. I actually built this 3 times, twice in a creative testing world before I actually joined the server. The first time I did it with granite, which is pink-ish in vanilla, but Wells made it like this darker stone, like the stone texture, but a much darker variant of it, kind of like a dark gray as opposed to this light gray here, which I think looks really nice. But then I got to thinking, I was like, well, what if everybody else doesn't play with the texture pack? I don't want it to be this huge pink monstrosity. So I built a second time in the creative testing world using stone brick and the variants. And then, of course, I built it the third time here. So you can keep coming up the stairs. In the actual Skyrim video game, it is kind of run down, which is why I went kind of liberal with like the andesite and the smooth stone. I would have gone liberal with the cracked as well, but I forgot. So this part is like totally crumbled away. Like the walling here is just gone. And up here there's some walling gone too. Now down here I terraformed this whole thing. Now the underside of the walkway, let's see if I can't, there we go. This is my design. It looked a little unrealistic with these skinny little things just going straight down and no actual support here. And I didn't, I took pictures with my tablet while I was touring the actual Skyrim video game, just getting some footage to work off of, you know, reference materials. And I couldn't remember whether there was anything, and by that point I was building it, I was like, I don't care, so I just threw that on there. Which I think it looks good. I don't know if it's actually remotely, I want to say the actual Skyrim, it just went straight down, but it was a little thicker in the actual Skyrim, and building in Minecraft can be a little tricky because of the, you know, the size of the blocks and the shape of the blocks. Like the archways are, you know, it's not perfect the way it would have been, of course, in the video game. But yeah, so it's, you know, a little creative license there. I also took creative license putting a tree there. It looked so bare here, so I put that giant tree there. I was actually really happy with the way it turned out. The first one I built, it was just a straight whole bunch of wood and then like a little green up here. And I was like, that is not going to work. It looks like somebody put a green matchstick over there. So I tore that one down and tried it again, and I got this one, which I'm really pleased with. On the other side, I just went with some run-of-the-mill bush type, like runaway bush type thing going. In the video game, Skyrim is built on this like outcropping of rock. So like all of this would actually be this huge chasm that just goes down forever. The problem is part of the build is also underground, and I started to run into the ceiling of the build in here and also on the other side. So I kind of had to just work around it. I also hid a lot of the lighting under carpets, and as well as using the seed lanterns. That's like 99% of the lighting is from that. Speaking of lighting, apart from, of course, where mobs can spawn out here and just walk up on their own, the base itself, from the ramp all the way through all of the basements, is about like 95% spawn proof. There's a few spots that I left dark, and I kind of had to because they involved snow, and I needed the snow there, but too much light would mean the snow would melt. So there are a few spots into the underground that are spawnable. So yeah, it's mostly okay though. The banners here, I designed them myself. It's as close as I could get it to the actual Minecraft, or not Minecraft, the actual Skyrim College of Winterhold design for the banners. The banner is more like this eye with like some spiky things and then like this long shaft that comes down. This was as close as I could get it, but I'm kind of happy with it. And actually I've gotten, over the last 3 months or so, I've actually gotten to the point where I like it so much I might keep it as my semi-permanent, maybe totally permanent banner, just to like to identify myself on the server. So I might end up doing that. The doors are all triggered like with pressure plates. I'm not a redstoner. This is about the extent of my redstone abilities, so no redstone involved at all. So a lot of pressure plates. A couple places have buttons, which I'll show later. Horse is totally not part of the build. It's just, you gotta have something to ride around on. So here's the lighting, more lighting that I hid in the corners. I had some snowmen who helped out with the walkways, you know, whatever. Now, this feels very large to me, but it was the best size I could get it to match the dimensions that I wanted for the rest of the build. I don't think the actual Skyrim video game would make the yard quite this big. And this middle bit here, I think there was like a statue of some sort. But I am not good at all with statues, so I just turned it into another lighting. There were some trees and bushes, and it kind of looked overgrown, so I did my best, added some of that. I wish it wasn't snowing, but... Oh, that does not fit at all. Let's just do this. So, just sleep, sleep, sleep. I actually like the snow. It's kind of peaceful. And I enjoy the lightning, or the thunder too. It's just... it makes it hard to see, so I want you guys to be able to see it. So, now, those of you who are familiar with the College of Skyrim probably know, or at least have a general idea of what is where. Those who don't, that's why we're doing the tour. So the College of Winterhold has 2 smaller towers, and then the main tower here. There's a tower here, and a tower here, and then a much bigger one there. I'll show you this one first. It's kind of boring. This is the Hall of Attainment. And I've kind of repurposed it as the shaft to my beacon mine. So you just jump down there. There's, this probably wouldn't work in 1.13 from what I understand, but there's a sign post at the bottom holding up a little bit of water so that when you fall and land, you don't get slaughtered from fall damage. The rooms are completely empty. Spawn-proof, but empty. There is a second floor up here. Nothing to see, really. It was interesting building this on a diagonal, because there's the door this side and then the stairs this side. It was very challenging, to say the least. It pops out on top, with our beacon going all the way up. This walkway wraps all the way around the main tower, as well as coming over here. We've got this little thing overlooking the entryway, which is, I like the view. I mean, none of this stuff out here, like the grass and trees and the other mountains, none of this is really part of the build, but it does give you a pretty decent idea of like the size, the scale, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. You come over here. This is the Hall of Countenance. There's a sign at the bottom that says we can look at it on the way out. So you come down here. This one I repurposed as my everything room, basically. So I got storage, a craft table in a couple of the rooms. Like I hid some over here. So crafting tables, 12 furnaces, my potion making kit, ender chest, my library, enchantment table. More storage down here. Not all of the storage is even filled, but I've only been here for 3 months, so I haven't had a huge chance to stock up on a lot of things. I did stock up a lot of stone, because that happens when you're digging out a mountain. It tends to just occur, and you can't do anything to stop it. I have a dedicated chest over here for my stone bricks, just because I use so much of it. So yeah, there was a lot of stone put into this build. The beacon mine went up pretty early because I knew I was going to need it. And here's the sign, Hall of Countenance. Now, there's something else in here that we're going to see in a minute, but we're going to come back to see that. That'll be in maybe 5 minutes from now. So here's the Hall of Elements. You come in, and you got some doors. I should put signposts up, but I wasn't sure whether it would make this teensy little room too busy with all the signposts on the walls. So for now, I haven't. And I'll do my best to actually remember what the names are. Here's my portal. Obviously, those of you who are familiar with Skyrim and the College of Winterhold, this doesn't exist. In fact, at some point in the game, there's this huge globe thing right here, which would look super cool, but there was like no way I could get a globe. All I could get is like a square. So I kind of had to scrap that idea, and I was like, you know what? Instead of that, the focal point of this room could be the portal. So that worked out pretty well. I hid some end rods up there, just to, otherwise this room would be so dark up top. I mean, it's not like it'd be spawnable, but it'd just be so dark. So I hid some some end rods up there. I discovered the hard way that the top of this is spawnable, so I stuck some back here as well. Kind of looks like they're like holding it to the wall, which actually makes sense. This huge pillar, I would imagine it'd be so easy just to topple it over. So it kind of makes sense to have it affixed to the wall like that. You get a decent view out this side. These are not glass panes, these are full glass blocks, so you can't stand on the window ledge. But you can still look out, have a view of the outside a little bit, just to get an idea of what's around me. I mean, it is an extreme hills biome. I was surprised. First, an extreme hills biome, this worked out really well because a lot of the extreme hills are just really hilly, and this one actually had a decent flat spot where I could build. I only had to do a little bit of terraforming for the actual structure to be based on. So I am trying my hardest to remember what these rooms are called because I want to do a good tour. I should really put the signs up. Maybe I'll do that before because I think this world, I'm not sure. This is, like I said, I've only been here for 3 months, so I'm not sure how everything works when it comes to resets, but I heard talk of a world download. And if there is going to be a world download, which means, you know, potentially other people could be playing it, I would like to I'll probably do that. My horse stands in the weirdest places. This here goes all the way up to the Archmages. I don't know which pronunciation. The Archmage's quarters, all the way on the 3rd floor. It bypasses the 2nd floor altogether. This one has a stop at the 2nd floor, so that's the one we're going to follow. The Arcaneum is one of these. I can't remember if it's this room. I want to say it's the 2nd floor that's the Arcaneum, which would make the main floor the Hall of Elements. That would make sense. Okay, so the Arcaneum, I'm pretty sure is the name of it, is up here. This stairwell is nothing like in the video game. It is in this position, but due to the way Minecraft works, there you have to do a lot of roundabouts to actually reach the level you need to be at. You can take a look out here. Now this is glass panes, so you can stand here and look out. And this is the Arcaneum. This takes you back out to the top. Like I said, it wraps all the way around. It has access right here. The Arcaneum is like kind of like a library. This is where like the librarian's desk would be. It's not necessarily the best desk in the world, but it was the best I could come up with. I'm not the best with interiors. We got lots of bookshelves. It's kind of cramped. I wanted to fit more bookshelves in, but realistically, I just couldn't. I kind of use ladders on the side, not to actually be like ladders, though if I put one on the front, that would make more sense if it was a really high bookshelf. I mostly put this here because the texture of the sides of these, there's nothing that really looks like it's holding the books in, because you got books on this side, you got books on this side, and you gotta be like, what kind of a bookshelf is this? How can this green cyan book be facing this way and have this brown book being facing that way? That just doesn't make sense. So I added fences to kind of be like the sides of the bookshelf. I mean, obviously you can still see through it, but it kind of helps it a little bit look like there's actually a side to the bookshelf. And some additional support holding up all of these books. It would have been cool if there were like scrolls, because that's more of the Elder Scrolls theme, but it is what it is. So yeah, that's the Arcaneum. At this point, I guess we'll come up here. We'll check out the Archmage's quarters. It's a little empty over here. There's not a whole lot. When it came to decorating, I kind of had to take a lot of liberty. This is my jukebox. I usually have Strad playing. I like Strad a lot. It sort of feels Skyrim-y to me, just a little bit. I had a lot of fun building this little indoor garden area. There's Dina on her camera account. Maybe just a little. So this is it's like an indoor library sort of thing. It's kind of fun. The vines kind of ran away. I didn't actually place these all over, but they kind of went all over anyway. I like that you can climb up here. I don't know. I like climbing on vines. It's a lot of fun sometimes. I was going to put like a replacement set of armor with tools and stuff around, but I never actually got around to doing that. I died way too many times to actually have a spare. Crafting table, ender chest. This is my memory wall. Let's see. This one I think is there was a prank for April Fools where you could have a pet. This is my pet Blue. I got a water plus at the same time to feed it, I guess. I completed Vander's creepy castle minigame, so I got Lord Vander's medal. I got a pina colada from one of the other members on the Welsknight Patreon server. The book, this blue block, this potion, that chest plate, and the cake, those all came from a humongous birthday cake treat that another one of the members of the community created in our spawn town. I think it was the spawn town area, just as a present and everything. And I think it was like her birthday or something. So just like a hobbit, give presents to other people. This is the sheep killer. I went to Stina's base 2 days ago, I think it was, and I was helping build there, and she showed me, we did science together and got a Technicolor sheep, and then somebody killed it. This is the sheep killer. Right here, this stick did the murder on my Technicolor sheep. I was very sad. First they tried to hang it. They put a lead on it, they built up on a pillar of wood, and then they hung it. Yeah, I'm kind of salty about that. Just a little bit. Not really. It was all fun, and I love that I have the sheep killer on my wall. That's like the greatest thing. I got this idea from, actually it's a common trick. I think I've seen a couple different people use this trick with the minecarts here. I think the first person on the server I saw use it, I want to say it was Ty. I'm pretty sure it was Ty, but I could be wrong. And I added the banner myself. I thought it looked kind of cool, like a backing to the chair. So you can hop in, and this is my desk. And it's not like the minecart can go, like I'm moving back and forth right now, and it doesn't do anything. I thought this was the coolest thing. And I put the chair, I think the handle looks a little weird, but it's in the back, you can't see it. So yeah, this is the Arcaneum, or the Archmage's room. And every time I sleep in this bed, it pops out and I hit my head on that thing, but it's okay. It's only a little bit of an ouch. So yes, at this point we can go up on either side because, like I said, the stairway on this side skips the second floor and goes straight for the third floor, but there is still the final section of roof, and both sides can access that. Up here. Someone said I should build a dragon here, but I am not good with organic builds, so no dragon. It's snowing and thundering again. But this is like a cool landing platform. And now that we've actually seen the upside, like the top side of the base, I'm going to pull this out. I'm going to sleep to get rid of the snow, and now we'll just take a fly around so you can kind of see what it looks like from the air. Sleep, sleep, sleep. There we go. Alright, now, I like having something that I can jump off of to help me. Sometimes I have problems with the lag on the server, actually getting a lift off, so we'll see how this goes. Please! Yay! I flew! First try! So just gonna come over here. And this is kind of what the base looks like. I really was happy with the way it turned out. Come on, can we lose some of the momentum? I was really happy with the way this turned out. I think it looks really cool. I hope you do too. It was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun too. The texture variation was not quite so much fun, but now we kind of have this internal joke within the community about mean texture variation. But yeah, this is my College of Winterhold. And this is only a third of it. well, not like third in like number of blocks, but like levels. This main level with the upper floors of the towers. This is like level 1 in my mind. There's a level 2 and a level 3 because if you've played Skyrim or if you know anything about Skyrim and the College of Winterhold, you'll know that the College of Winterhold has 2 levels of an underground. One is called the Midden, and then below that's the Midden Dark. And it can be accessed here and also over there, and I'm going to go that way. It's my preference. So you've got this one, it's kind of out in the open, kind of obvious. The other one's kind of like a secret access. It's not hidden necessarily, but if you're not expecting to see it, it's easy to miss. So you come over here, and it's just tucked right here. So you come on down, and this whole thing, there were a couple caves that I ran into while digging this out and building it, but otherwise this is completely dug out by me and redesigned. So I did a lot of mossy stone down here. I did a little, just at the early places, it's kind of like it's part of the basement. Eventually it gets more into like a cave-ish type things. So you'll see a little bit of the wood and some cobwebs, lighting underneath there. This hallway over here leads to the other entrance I was showing you before. I guess we can just run on over. I did a lot of the hiding of lights up here. So you got more of the sea lanterns on the other side of these cobble walls. I want stone walls. Stone brick walls would look so much better in places like this. And yes, some of these places, that is a glowstone. The texture is very different in this texture pack, but that's a glowstone. I don't know why. At first I was using glowstones, and then I switched to using sea lanterns, and I was like, you know what? It all provides the same kind of light. We'll just go with it. So some of the lighting I hid behind, a lot of the lighting I hid behind here. Some of them I did underneath the carpets, and a couple of them I hid up here. So climb this, go over here, and right here. So we'll go back down, and we'll go explore the rest of it. Alrighty. It was kind of interesting when I was first designing this because there were sheep that kept spawning, and they were spawning this wall. On the other side of this wall, there's just like the underside of my castle. So there were like all sorts of sheep, and you keep constantly hearing bah, bah. It was like driving me crazy. I eventually slaughtered them all. And I also brought down like 2 cows and 2 sheep and 2 pigs and 2 chickens because I eventually wanted to build a farm, and then we got word of like a reset, and I was like, well, I guess I'm not building a farm now. So I killed them too, because they weren't really serving any purpose at that point, and they were really noisy and and in order to keep them from wandering off or falling into pits or whatever, I kind of had to fence them in with fences, and that was like in the way and totally not within like what I had in mind for this. You can climb the vines up and down. That's my preferred method of getting through, especially when I had animals penned down here and it was impossible to go through that way. But we'll go through the other way. We'll go through this way. Over here is kind of like a jail cell, I guess. This is my redstoning ability, blood. And the jail cell door. I thought it was cool how the jail cell door turned out. I wasn't sure what I was gonna do. Hi, Cobweb. Yeah, this is like a little jail cell. I have no idea what purpose is served in the actual college. It probably something gruesome. You can go this way. A lot of these rooms don't actually serve a purpose, but it's just... I heard a sheep in there eating grass. A lot of the rooms don't actually have a purpose. It's just the way the video game made it. So, like this room, it's pretty bare. In the video game, it's much more poorly lit, but there's no way you could do that and make this even remotely safe for spawning, or like to walk around in, because you have mobs spawning all the time. I tried hiding light down here with like stairs because I thought stairs would be relatively transparent. I've only actually been playing Minecraft for about 7 or 8 months, and only been playing on the server for about 2 or 3. So I'm still learning how things like lighting works and transparent blocks. I thought stairs were transparent blocks, but as soon as I put the stairs down, yeah, it's like totally lit up down here, but it's pitch dark up here, so that didn't work. I ended up having to hide more in the ceiling, but that's okay. it works out. So you can come down here, this little staircase. This is, alright, this is not my redstoning. I tried it, I failed at it, and I got somebody else to do it for me. I couldn't do it. I just failed. This comes down. This is like a nothing. This is not part of the College of Winterhold. I mostly just needed it here because I needed to terraform up there and I needed to block off this cave system. But this is the exit to my beacon mine. So it kind of had to stay in some form or another. These are the pillars of the bridge. So I'm basically underneath one of the bridges outside. So we got the secret entrance in here. There's also a door here. This door is part of the build, but I must not have done the quest yet because it's still locked to me in game. So I actually have nothing. I have no idea what's on that side of the door on this side. I'll be available soon. Sorry. I've been helping Stino a lot with texture variation and stuff. So, and having a lot of fun. I teased her about enslaving me, but it's actually, I'm happy to be enslaved because I'm having so much fun helping her out. I actually just kind of want to move into her base and just forget about mine. Because I feel like I like my build, but it can be really isolating to be out here on my mountain all the time. So it's really nice to be able to go back to the community, pitch in on a community project, and you know, enjoy others and everything. So there's pros and cons to building out in the middle of nowhere. I needed it to be an extreme hills biome because I needed it to be on a mountain where it would where instead of raining it would be snow because that's the way it was in the video game. And this was the closest mountain of the appropriate design like shape that I could find to spawn. So I was kind of stuck building out this far. And in case you're curious, there's my coordinates. Not the exact center of my coordinates. In fact, if I can remember to when we leave, I'll show you the exact center of my build. Because on this server, currently the rules give us 250 blocks in every direction. So 500 by 500, I believe, is the way it works. So I'll show you my center point that I had to register my base at. This room, I have no idea what the purpose is. This was sort of, honestly, in the video game, it kind of looked like a sacrificial altar. I just put torches down. There were candles. This looks horrible. That is not a candle. But it was the closest I could to. And yeah, I was like, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. And I have a little table here, which I'm not sure whether that was a sacrificial altar too or not. I don't really know. And then there's this room. This room was a lot of fun. I love the way it turned out. It was not the easiest thing to design. This whole wall here is stone brick. It's like the side of the underground of the building. I have no idea how this would work in Skyrim itself, like what purpose there would be to build doors in the cave like this. But yeah, I was really happy with the way it turned out. This is all cobble and cobble variants, and you know, like the mossy cobble, and got some vines and slabs and stairs and walls and all that stuff. I had a lot. It turned out really cool. You can come over here and you can walk through here. There's nothing really to see. And my preferred way of getting out is just to climb the central spire here. Skip the floor here and just come right here. You can just pop right through. But this is the Midden. So everything you've seen down here so far is the Midden. Now we'll go through the Midden Dark, which is through the double doors down here, which initially I had closed to keep my sheep and all that from escaping down here while I was building, because there were some uncovered cave systems I didn't want them disappearing into. But now that I killed them, I just leave the doors open. So here's another one. Right on the other side of the wall is the room we just came from, so I had very little room to work with. Again, I was really happy with the way this turned out. I think it looks really good. I mean, I don't have a whole lot to compare it to. The only Minecrafters I've watched on YouTube is Stina and Welsknight. I mean, I've seen a couple videos, but they're the main ones. So I only have their videos. I just don't have a whole lot of exposure right now. So I'm sure someone out there's done way, way better than I have. But with that said, I was really happy with the way this turned out. It kind of gives me the sense of this really grand feeling looking up like that. And you can look down too. we're on a bridge right here, and we'll actually go down here later. We'll come out at the bottom. This passageway leads all the way down there. So yeah, this is this room. This is supposed to be some like icy, snowy passageway. This is one of the rooms. I think it's spawn. Well, like see, there's 5 block, but I don't know. Can they spawn when you have layers of snow like this? I'm not sure whether they can. I'm sure they can spawn on like 1 layer of snow, but man-made extra layers of snow, does that work kind of like double carpets and whatnot? I have no idea. To try and help out, I did hide. I basically dug holes. It looks ridiculous. It looks like vents in an industrial building or something. But I did hide some lighting up there and up there. I mixed in a little bit of snow to kind of break up all the iciness of it. And I really liked this, like the elevation change as you come through here. You come out on this side, you got some more cave-ish type things. All these caves like this is man-made. None of this is original. Behind all of this stuff is just smooth stone and whatnot. So every block you see was placed by me. This is kind of a dead end. It comes down. Something spawned somewhere. Not there. Okay, good. Like I said, there's other caves, so it could have just spawned in a cave. This is that door I was talking about, the one that I have no idea what's actually on the other side of it. If I had more time, I was going to turn this into like an actual area in here where I could build a nice pathway to my beacon mine exit. I could go down a couple more layers and build the farms and all that stuff, kind of hide it all underground so it didn't disrupt the build and everything. But I ran out of time, so that ended up just being a quick exit or entrance if I go to the beacon mine. This, I have no idea what the purpose of this. I kind of think of it being like where a bear might be, you know, kind of rounded, like little, I have no idea what actually to call it. But it was kind of cool. Up here, we get more into the brickiness. It sounds like there's something right beneath me. This stuff is spawn proof. Any place I had the brick, it's easy to do spawn proofing. I'm gonna get out my bow just in case I run into something weird. I'm pretty sure there's probably just a cave in here that I didn't light up all the way on the other side of the walls. So you come down here, right on the other side of this. Let's see if I can get a peek of it. Well, I did. There's a light there, but I don't know if you can make it out. But that's my beacon mine. We're underneath this is the beacon mine shaft. If you jump down the beacon mine, you actually shoot right past this spot. And I was like, you know what? It's kind of cool. It's probably not at all appropriate, like, for lore purposes to be able to see the lightning, but I think it looks awesome, so I left it. Come down here. There's nothing really to see right here. What in the world? Ghost block, maybe? I'll have to come back here and replace that. That must have been a ghost block, because that was not like that last time I was here. There's nothing else. I mean, it's not like there was a creeper explosion. If there would have been a creeper explosion, it would be worse than this. I actually have no idea. I don't think I have anything in my ender chest to help. So, moving on. This is underneath the bridge I was talking about. I kind of like how you can look down, and now that you're down at the very bottom, it's so tall up there. And now we're getting to the end of the base. I wasn't really too happy. I didn't know that walking on ice slows you down. Like if you're trying to run, it's like going through you know, like sludge or something. You just get dragged down. And then this comes out to this platform. It's unfortunately raining at this elevation, not snowing. Ouch! Ouch! Who's doing that? Let's get rid of the... This area is one area that is spawnable. Parts of it anyway. I did my best to hide some lighting, but, like the very edge is... Stop it! The very edge is, spawnable a little bit. So you just have to be careful. I see you trying to aim at me. Go die. Oh, he's hiding in the shadow. Now I'm just mad. Ow! Okay, well, he's dead, so I get the last laugh. So yeah, this is it. You can land here from the air and everything. If you don't lag, you can get a good takeoff, and whatnot. So we'll try that. Alright, up we go. Oh yeah, and I was going to show you the exact center of my build. I was like, you know what, I could hide this, like cover it up completely, but I was like, nah. So this is the center point of my base. Yay! The exact center. So I kept the sign there for posterity or whatever. So yeah, this is my base. This is my College of Winterhold. I was really happy with the way it turned out. If I had more time, I might have taken another pass in to put the cracked stone, and would have, you know, done the farms and whatnot that I wanted to do. But that said, I think I did pretty good in the amount of time I had. So I hope you guys all enjoyed it. I hope that those of you who've seen Skyrim or played Skyrim, seen the College of Winterhold, and you know what it's supposed to look like, I hope you guys think I did a decent version or interpretation, both on the scale and the design, just in general. So I really hope you like it. I plan to do more videos. My internet kind of is really bad, so it takes a while to upload things, but I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see y'all later, I hope. Bye!